Should you guys sell your Google stock and go all in into Tesla stock? Or sell all your Tesla stock and go all in Google stock? Or you buy both? Or you don't buy neither? In this video, we're going to be looking at Google stock versus Tesla stock, a 2030 stock price prediction. Which investment is the better long-term hold? Google or Tesla? Let's see. As you guys can already see, I'm back in my Kuwait studio. I do miss my guitar and my music stuff in the background. It does define who I am, but it's all good because I brought the moon with me. And you guys already know that we're going on the darn moon very soon. So it was worth bringing with me. And because it's cool because it spins on its own sometimes. But I also know that you guys do miss the go all in poster, so here we are. And you guys can get it too. I do now sell merch that also includes the go all in poster wall. Obviously it's not the same. I think the one on my merch is a whole lot cooler because it's just a simple go all in poster wall. That's it, nothing else and nothing more. And also we got the shirt as well, sweater, hoodies, mugs, it's all there. So if you guys are interested, link in the card in the corner or in the description. But going back to Google versus Tesla stock by 2030, which one is the better investment by 2030? Which one should you invest in now so you can benefit the most by 2030? We're gonna get into that now, but before we do, have you smashed that like button, man? Come on, man, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and let's get into it, man. Let's go. So here's the Tesla and Google stock price prediction charts. As you guys see here, the Tesla chart is pretty much filled out except for the stock price, which we will go and figure out together because it's pretty darn interesting. If you guys want to know how I got these numbers, obviously I didn't pull it out of my ass or I got it out of thin air. These numbers are backed by research, data, and solid facts, as what we do here on this channel. And although it's a prediction, this is a very conservative chart that doesn't include Tesla insurance, robotaxi, energy storage, full FSD. We only have a little bit of FSD here, which is vague, but we don't have that full FSD here yet. Tesla bot that may come by like 2027, 2028. Any of those things are not included. The only thing that's included here is, as you guys can see, the vehicle deliveries and a little bit of FSD. That's it. If you guys want a full explanation, step by step, how I got these numbers, and at the same time want to see what the stock price will be by 2030, if you include every single product and services Tesla has to offer, check out this video. It's worth checking out. But to save on time, I filled it out and we're just gonna go ahead and figure out the Tesla stock price. But check it out, guys. By 2030, with the vehicle deliveries of 20 million vehicles, because that's what Tesla said they're gonna do by 2030, we get a total revenue of almost $800 billion. That's absolutely crazy. And this is only the vehicle sold and a little bit of FSD. A little bit of FSD. With a 25% margin and adding the FSD profit margin, we get about God, $250 billion by 2030. That's absolutely insane. That's crazy. And this is not even including the insurance, the robotaxi, and the other many things that they have, which is just absolutely nuts. Anything on top of that is just, more whipped cream and cherries on top. You know what I mean? So, sheesh. That's crazy. Now let's go ahead and find the PE so we can find the Tesla stock price every single year from 2022 all the way to 2030. The question is here, are you ready? Because if you are, that like button would have been smashed. So come on, man. Smash that like button, and if you just smashed it, now you're ready. Let's go. If you guys are a regular viewer of this channel, I really do believe that by end of this year, we're gonna see a PE of 90. In my opinion, that's not bearish, nor is it bullish. I think that's how and where it should be. With a PE of 90, we get a stock price of $377 per share. Sheesh, bruh. Right now, the stock price is around 300 at the recording of this video. If the stock price is going to be 377 by year end or the first quarter of 2023, bruh, that's like a 25 to 30% increase. Sheesh, that's absolutely insane. But with a stock price of $377 per share, we get a market cap over $1.2 trillion, which is, pretty much going back to our all-time highs in 2021. So if you guys bought then, well, it looks like you're about to break even at the end of this year or the first quarter of 2023. So hang in there. But here's the thing, guys. This is a 90 PE if they only delivered 1.4 million vehicles this year. Most likely, they're going to do around 1.45. So let's put that in and let's see what we get. 1.45 with a PE of 90, we get a stock price of 391. So that's just absolutely insane. But let's put it back to 1.4 million just to stay conservative. conservative, and let's be even more conservative. Let's say the macro environment isn't as greatest, things are still lacking, inflation, CPI index, there's all not coming down as fast as we like, and interest rates keeps going up. Let's say a PE of 80 being the worst case scenario here. With a PE of 80, that's a stock price of $335 at year end, which is still great. That's like almost a 12% increase from what the price is now. But I really do believe that 90 is more mature. I think we're going to see around 377. And if you guys want to see the bullish case in 2022, well then let's put 100 PE, because I think that's the highest we can see this year. I mean, it is at 100 PE at the moment, but with 100 PE, we get a stock price of 419 at the year end or the first quarter of 2023. Because that's when Q4 comes out and it closes 2022. Again, saying 90 just to be safe. Now, let's say you have $10,000 to invest and you're planning to invest into Tesla stock at the end of this year or the first quarter of 2023 when the stock price is $377. You're not going to invest it now around $300 because you want to see how they finish off the year of 2022. You want to be certain that Tesla will hit 1.4 at least for the deliveries and a record this year. After then, you'll invest. Well, my friend, we're going to be looking at that right now. We're going to see how this 10K is going to grow from now to 2030. I hope you're ready. Now moving on to 2023, I gave it a PE of 75. With a 75 PE, we get a stock price of $579 per share and a market cap almost hitting $2 trillion. Your 10K has turned to almost to 15K. So 50% growth. I mean, that's just crazy. In 1 year, you made 50% growth on your money, and you literally waited, not until now to invest, but you waited until end of year of 2022, or even the first quarter of 2023. Like, that's absolutely crazy. 50% increase. Sheesh. But it seems to get better. In 2024, I gave it a PE of 65. And with that, we get a stock price of $829 per share and a market cap over $2.8 trillion. Your 10K has now turned to over 21K. I mean, dude, you more than doubled your money in 2 years. That's crazy. That's insane. What investment will ever get you? I don't know. Moving on to 2025, I gave it a PE of 55 and we get a stock price of 1,133 and a market cap over $3.9 trillion. Your 10K has now turned to over 29K. I mean, that's just a lot of 3x your money 3 years, making double your money every single year. I mean, that's just crazy. In 2026, I gave it a PE of 45 and we get a stock price of 1308 with a market cap over 4.6 trillion. Your 10K has now turned to almost 33,500, which is not bad. In 2027, I gave it a PE of 40 and we get a stock price of 1547 and a market cap over $5.5 trillion. Your 10K has now turned to almost 40K, 4x'd. Crazy. In 2028, I gave it a PE of 35, which honestly, I mean, 35 PE by 2028. I mean, it makes sense if it's only vehicles and FSD and a little bit of FSD. It's not the full thing yet. It makes sense to have a 35 PE by then, but we know by 2028, Tesla, their vehicle size is probably going to be maybe 20%, 25% of it. The rest of it is going to be AI, energy storage, robo-taxi, it's going to be a lot. So a 35 PE by 2028 doesn't seem to be realistic, but keeping things conservative, we get a stock price of $1735 and a market cap over $6.3 trillion. Your 10K has now turned to over $44,000. Sheesh. In 2029, I gave it a PE of 30. It's absolutely a joke. I mean, again, 30 PE by 2029 is absolutely a joke, and I don't think that'll happen. But anywho, we get a stock price of $1762 with a market cap over $6.5 trillion. You've only made maybe like $800 compared to 2020 to 2029. So it's not really that impressive. But nonetheless, 10K turned to $45,000. Pretty darn impressive. And in 2030, with a PE of 30 again, I didn't go down to 25 because that'll just be absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, it's just hard to see it at 25 if Tesla is bringing all their products and services. So I'm just keeping it at 30. And we get a stock price of 1976 with a market cap over 7.5 trillion. Your 10K has now turned to over $50,000. I mean, that's crazy. So overall in 2022, if you guys invested 10K, and I mean end of 2022, when Q4 comes out, which is, the first quarter of 2023. And you just held. You didn't contribute more. You didn't withdraw. By 2030, you would have over $50,000. That's a 506% increase. Sheesh. I mean, you guys already know, if you guys are watching my videos, if you guys are a regular viewer of me, you guys know I'm going all in into Tesla stock. So if I can 6x by 2030, I mean, man, I think it's time to retire by then. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, let's go see what Google has to say about this, and let's see who has a better return by 2030. Now, in order to find Google's stock price prediction from 2022 to 2030, we got to see what the revenue and profits are going to be. Looking at simply Wall Street's from 2022 to 2024, it seems pretty darn promising. So I took their numbers and I put it in the chart here. What they're saying here, by 2022, for the net income, there's going to be a dip. And that makes sense because, you know, interest rates are going up. We are heading into a recession. I mean, it's not looking good at all. Even though in my opinion, it's gonna be a light recession, it's still gonna hit everyone one way or the other. But however, they're saying by 2023, they're gonna be hitting record numbers again in terms of net income, and in 2024 as well. Now that we have up until 2024, we need to figure out from 2025 all the way to 2030, and nobody online has this. So we have to predict this intelligently because no one can really predict what's going to happen in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. Luckily, we got Curious Pejjy to do that. So what I did is that from 2024 all the way back to 2020, I compare what their growth will be year over year for the sales and net profit. And this is what we get. On the average basis from 2020 to 2024, their revenue grew at a 12% rate. For their profits, well, that's a whole different story. It's about a 27% increase. And even though we have a decline from 2021 to 2022, it's still giving a 27% increase, which is absolutely insane. Google, guys, you don't want to underestimate Google, man. They're doing stuff. They're great. I mean, YouTube is owned by Google, so you know, if they're paying their creators good money, imagine how much money they're making. So yeah, never underestimate Google. Never. So what I said is that from 2025 to 2026, they're going to grow at a 12% rate. And these are the numbers that we get. From 2027 to 2029, I said they're going to grow at a 10% rate year over year. And in 2030, I said they're going to grow 8%, which will end the year off, or 2030 off, by $658 billion in revenue. Which is still a lot of money. I mean, that's insane. Although I do believe they're gonna do much more than this because, you know, they have a partnership with SpaceX. But let's just keep it conservative, and that's what these numbers are. For the net profit, however, I kept it more conservative. From 2025 and 2026, I said they're gonna grow 15%. I know yearly it's about like on an average 27%, but if we look at the recent years of growth, is about 15%, and then 13% is what simply Wall Street is predicting. So we're going to continue this trend and say 15% for 2025 and 2026, and these are the numbers that we get. 2027 to 2029 is about a 12% growth year over year, and by 2030 it gets dropped down to 10%, and we get a total net income of over $180 billion. For the shares outstanding in 2022, I put 12.9 billion. Most likely this is what's going to happen because right now we're at 13 billion shares outstanding, and Google does a lot of buybacks. They do quite a bit of buybacks. About 1% buyback annually is what they do. So that's what I took, 1% from 2023 all the way to 2030, and we get a shares outstanding just below 12 billion shares outstanding by 2030, which makes a lot of sense, which is actually pretty darn nice. EPS follows that as well, and now we're gonna go to the PE, see what the stock price is going to be. You guys ready, man? Smash that like button, man. Why haven't you smashed that like button, man? Come on. Sheesh. So for Google's PE, I kept it very standard throughout 2022 all the way to 2030 because Google is a very stable company. If we look at the history for their PE, it looks like it averages around 25, 27, somewhere around there. But let's just say 25 PE from 2022 all the way to 2030. But let's just put that for 2022 to see what the stock price could potentially be by year end or the first quarter of 2023. With a PE of 25, we get a stock price of $132 per share and a market cap over $1.7 trillion. Right now, the current stock price is around 105 or $100 per share, which is honestly a bargain if you guys ask me. It's flipping Google, man. Google ain't going anywhere. They're growing. I mean, come on, guys. That's like the year of 2020 price, like $99 per share. Come on, man. If you guys wanted to buy it then and you just are butthurt because you couldn't, well, guess what? You have another opportunity right now. But anywho, with a PE of 25, we get a stock price of 132. If you want to get more bearish, let's say a PE of 22, 116. Yeah, 16% increase if you bought now. But I do believe that once 2022 comes to an end, I think there's going to be more optimism in the year. So a PE of 25 with a stock price of $132 per share makes a lot more sense. That's like a 32% increase from now, man. Come on, that's actually not bad. That's better than Tesla's return, just slightly. That says something. Now, the same thing we did with Tesla with a 10 grand investment in by 2022, we're gonna do the same thing here with Google. All right, so now let's go ahead and put 25 PE from 2023 and stretch it all the way to 2030, and we get a stock price by 2030 of $379 per share and a market cap over $4.5 trillion. I do believe that Google will do better than this. I think by 2030, Google should be over 5 trillion in market cap. I think they're gonna do much better than that, but we're keeping things conservative. But check this out, guys. Your total ROI on Google stock, if you bought at 2022, at the end of 2022, of 10K, which comes down to around 75, 76 shares. By 2030, you know, not contributing, not withdrawing, doing none of those, that 10K turns to almost $29,000. That's almost a 3x return, which is absolutely incredible when it comes down to Google, because Google is a stable stock. It's a matured company, but yet it's tripling your money within like 8 years. That's crazy. That's good investments, especially for those guys who bought 10, 20 years ago and they're not selling shares. Man, you're gonna triple your money third time, fourth time again in the next 8 years. That's sheesh. That's absolutely insane. And that's why I say don't underestimate Google or Alphabet. They're doing things, man. They're absolutely doing a lot of good things. All right, now let's compare Google versus Tesla. If we go ahead and look at the percentage of ROI return for Tesla and Google, Tesla destroys Google. But we also have to understand that Tesla is in a growth period, while Google is not really as much in the growth period as they were, 5-10 years ago. They're more of a mature and stable company, unlike Tesla that's right now in their growth phases and will be for the next 5 years at least. So it makes sense. What this chart really tells me is that if you're a new investor, Tesla seems to be a better investment for you. But if you're an old school investor that has quite a bit of shares of Google, I wouldn't sell my Google stock. I would hold on to it because you're going to triple your money. And I'm pretty sure if you bought Google 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you have thousands and thousands and thousands of shares. That's a lot of money. And you're going to be tripling that in the next 6 to 8 years. And that's pretty much almost guaranteed because Google is such a strong company. It's been around for a long time and it's going to be around for a lot more longer. So that works too, but both these companies are amazing. Both these stocks are amazing to invest in. As you guys already know, I'm going all in into Tesla stock, and man, seeing 506%, it's conservative. I really do believe it's conservative because we're not including any other services or products into this. If we do, which we do here in this video, it's a whole different story. But nonetheless, guys, don't forget this is only a prediction and a prediction only. These are not facts, and although we did use numbers and data that are solid, it doesn't mean future predictions like what I'm doing now may come true, which is why you guys should always take these videos with a grain of salt and do your research. But nonetheless, guys, there you have it. Google versus Tesla, who's better? Honestly, both are great. Both are fantastic, but obviously I'm going all in into Tesla stock, so you guys already know that Tesla wins this one. But can Tesla give a better return than Apple? Oh, that's the question. And here's the video, and the answer is there too. So check it out. You won't be disappointed. It's a lot of fun and really entertaining. Don't forget to subscribe, guys, and I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.